meantime, Amazon is down 1%. It did receive a price target hike. And that's our morning trade. Joining me right now is Schwab Network contributor Marley Caden, taking a look at Amazon today at 203 with a positive note, but under pressure with the rest of the market.
Yeah, just being dragged down a little bit this morning, Nicole, with the rest of the market, like you said, just slightly in the red. We're trading about 203 exactly right now, down 1%. Like you mentioned, B of A did give them a price target hike. They bumped their price target to $248, up from $230 this morning, maintain that buy rating on their shares. So that indicates a roughly 20% upside from their price right now of about $203. They cited software as a service and their expansion in their retail sector as their two primary reasons behind it, specifically mentioning the adoption of a lot of robots and AI in their efficiency process. They have 750,000 robots assisting with 75% of customer orders right now. They also have their new 12th generation automated fulfillment center that launched late last year. 8 new robots coming out in that particular center. That's going to up their efficiency there, citing all of these things. Also saying that they expect Amazon to continue to leverage robots to reduce labor dependency, increase their order accuracy, and improve warehouse efficiency. And obviously that would drive material cost savings for them. So B of A citing those reasons, also thinking that Amazon will be an early adopter of these new incredibly spatially aware robots because of their AI tech with AWS. They're thinking they'll be an early adopter of that and saying that will increase their efficiency as well and offer some pretty material cost savings, giving them a heavy competitive edge.
And we think about, how AI will change the labor landscape. I mean, there have been some, okay numbers, and then there are some numbers that are pretty eye-opening on how the picture could change over the next decade. I will say Amazon has been an investor in AI developer Anthropic, and that both Alphabet and Amazon have invested, and that's reached about $3 billion in annualized revenue.
Yeah,
tripling. And there's an interest there.
Absolutely. And they're driving so much into AI, with Amazon Web Services sort of driving behind that. Right now, I think I'm going to give you the exact number. They're the most significant cloud computing player globally. They have a 30% market share in terms of everybody playing in cloud computing. So they have a heavy competitive edge on that front. They're roughly a third of that market share. So a heavy edge there. And then investments like Anthropic and staying ahead of the game in this AI race is one of the primary reasons B of A is doing this price target. As we look at the other analyst targets too, they range from roughly 195, so only just a hair under where we're trading right now, all the way up to 305. That average price target for Amazon is 240.54 right now as of trade right now. So, a heavy upside here, looking like analysts think they have really strong overall financial health, strong cash flows, moderate debt levels, lots of positives for Amazon despite being slightly in the red this morning.
And, you also have Amazon dealing with, so this is good news, for Amazon at least, if they can increase efficiency and accuracy in the warehouses. We've heard some horror stories about people, running and they have to get so many packages into the carts in X amount of time. It's like watching some crazy show or something, right? I don't know how the folks work at that record speed. At the same time, that's the job. And so people take that job. At this point now, how will it change in the future? And that's really what I'm thinking about, because they do have to still deal with tariffs. It is a sizable player, so they can deal with third parties and maybe throw their weight around too.
Absolutely. And I think we are starting to see some of the numbers come out on the transition from workers actually running those packages through the warehouses, trying to meet those needs, and the use of these efficiency robots. Just in their last quarter, they upped their delivery speeds, and they had more than 65% of their items delivered to Prime members same day or overnight. So in that 7 a.m. delivery category, a lot of that aided by that 750,000 robots they're using in their factories. So we are seeing a major efficiency play, a real driver into this robotics AI functionality. And I think Amazon will always be on the forefront of this just because they have their AI capabilities and they have such a firm market share on it.
It has completely evolved. Just like Netflix, these companies just keep growing and growing and evolving into what they need to be. And Amazon well off of its highs of 242. Yes. But I did see also, you mentioned the Bank of America call it 248, the price target. Loop Capital has a new 290 and a buy today. So you do see upside from the analysts. Marley Caden, great to see you. Thank you so much. Let's trade it. Charles Moon is here, stock strategist, Prosper Trading Academy. Good morning to you. You're looking and have an example trade for us on Amazon. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I love this pullback in Amazon. And for me, as long as they stay above this $200 level, it's pretty key. It's a technical level. It's a psychological level. I love the upside here. I know that the markets are a little bit shaky. We've been so frothy in the markets, obviously one of the strongest Mays that we've seen in quite some time. So, all it took was just a little bit of shakiness out of the news to kind of cause a little bit of risk off, which is not surprising. But again, Amazon staying above this $200 price. I love the June June 13th contract, 205 strike at 375 or lower. I'm willing to risk about $1.50 per contract. My expectations is that they're going to try and hold this level and rebound back to at least around $210. We could start looking to cash at around 6.25 or higher on those contracts if it maintains this level of support. Now, if it loses 200, Amazon's probably working its way back down at least to 195, 192, so there's no need to hold and, obviously take on a bigger loss. But for me, this has been one of the better players. Obviously the news around Amazon has been a lot more positive. The analysts' outlooks has been a lot more positive. They're working on efficiency, with Amazon working on such tight margins. Anything that's going to help those margins is a big, big boost for the future for the company.
Yeah, you said you like that it's holding the 200 level, 203. Okay, I mean, it's right there, but let's hope it doesn't go down any further. What about the market action that we're seeing? Your thoughts on whether it's the economic news or the market action overall?
Yeah, and again, I just think that once, anytime in the markets, anytime you see a pretty strong sustained rally, at some point buyers get exhaustive. They get a little concerned about buying at peak. Sellers are looking for an opportunity, and all it takes is a little bit of news. And really what that starts happening is that those early investors start taking a little risk off. Short sellers start looking at that as a preemptive opportunity to try and engage the markets and take on some really aggressive short-term plays. And because of the market environment, I like this more as a short-term opportunity as well. We don't want to be holding on too long. We never know what the news feed's going to, really bring for us over this next week. And seeing how the market has reacted, especially since towards the end of the month, it could have been just, attributed to rebalancing. But, we saw some shakiness off of headlines, and that's really what's concerning, is seeing an overreaction in the markets to anything that's hitting the news wire. So at this point, I would just say short term is probably best for now until we start firming up again.
Right, understood. I mean, when you think about the Mag 7, is there anything about, we just talked about Amazon, any of the other names interesting to you that you follow? Really, I'm sure you follow all of them, but is there one that you love to follow?
Meta right now. Meta's been a bit, I would say, passive in terms of trading over the last week and a half, but today they really sparked up and got really aggressive buying early on, really strong performance. So, Meta's one of those names that's not only been able to maintain gains, very similar to Microsoft, where they jumped off of earnings and they've been basically holding their peak range. But Meta's been awfully quiet. I'm looking for this recovery in Meta. I think that breakout through around 660, 665 could be a really good trigger point for them to get back up into that 700 level and look to push towards their all-time highs.
All right. Thank you so much, Charles Moon, Prosper Trading Academy. Great to see you. Thank you for being here and taking a look at some of those Mag 7 names for us, too.